Okay, we talked a little bit earlier about MongoDB being schemaless, and I wanted to go back to that and show you a little bit more inside the shell what that looks like. Now that you've seen MongoDB installed and you've seen the shell and you've seen us build a small application end to end. So fundamentally, that comes down to a few different things. One is that often in a relational system, you'll have a table and you'll have certain columns in the table. For instance, name, age, and maybe city of birth or something. And over time, you may decide that you want to keep some additional piece of information. And to do that, you'd have to expand the table and do an alter table command. That's how it works in the world of relational. In Mongo, you don't need to do that. So in Mongo, different documents can have different schema. And so this means that as a system evolves with agile methodologies, often you'll work in short 2 and 3 week sprints and you'll make changes and you'll iterate the system. We can accommodate that. So let's look at what that practically looks like in the shell. All right, so let's create a new collection and call it users and then put something in it. I'm going to put name in it, put my whole name. And then let's say I want to put my city of birth in it. I'll say it's Queens. And I can do that. Now if I look in the users collection, I'll see my document. And here it is. There's a pretty print command inside the shell. It's very useful. It prints things out a little bit neater. And here it is, pretty printed. But now let's say I want to add another user to the system, and for whatever reason, I'm now going to store some additional information. For instance, I want to store a new user whose name is Richard Kreuter, my co-instructor, and I've decided I want to store his city of birth as well, which I'm not sure about and I'm just going to make up. But I also want to store his favorite color, which I believe is red, based on nothing, just a guess. Now, if I look in that collection, I can see that I've got 2 different documents, and these 2 different documents, one of them has just the name and city of birth, and of course this interesting object ID that we'll talk about later. And the other one has name, city of birth, and favorite color. So this permits Mongo to be very agile, because you don't need to have exactly the same keys in each of the documents. And I can evolve it over time too. And I can change the schema of an existing document. So for instance, I can do a db.users. Put it into a variable. I'm looking for the object with the name of Andrew Ehrlichson. I can see the object. There it is. Put my favorite color in. And now I can look at J and you can see that it's been updated. And now I could do a db.users.save of J. And now if I look at this collection, you can see that my object has now been updated to include a favorite color as well. This is flexibility that we're going to take advantage of a lot as we build systems using MongoDB.